No, I fully agree with the picture you gave us, and let's be frank. If a resolution on the establishment of the State of Israel were tabled today, it's very likely that the General Assembly would not pass it, would not approve it. And I myself, although to a limited extent with comparison to your experience, I've been working with UN at our perm rep to New York during 3 years at the beginning of the century, and I already noticed that there was a sort of a transformation within the UN. My personal explication, but I would like to know if you agree on it, is that this is also, or maybe mainly due to the fact that with the enlargement of the membership, inevitably, the number of member states of the UN, which are animated by anti-Western, anti-capitalistic, and consequently anti-Israeli feelings and sentiment, is increasing day by day. And so in a way, Israel is also attacked because he is rightly considered a sort of Western outpost in the Middle East region. I mean, to the extent that I remember, for instance, the Durban conference, which was intended to be against racism in 2003, turned up in a sort of anti-Israeli conference. I mean, that was very, very, very difficult to limit in the damages it was doing. I mean,
absolutely. Look, the as you said, the Durban conference was actually the first one. Was in 2001. Was supposed to be the World Conference Against Racism. It was being held in South Africa, which is the post-apartheid South Africa, and was meant to be a very, meaningful event. And unfortunately, some of the worst dictatorships, as you said, anti-Western regimes, hijacked the conference. The Islamic countries and radical left-wing anti-Western, anti-Israel activists came in the thousands. They hijacked the non-governmental conference, which was on the sidelines. This was the civil society event. They adopted a horrible declaration accusing Israel of genocide and apartheid, which in a way was a forerunner, was a premonition of the campaign that we see now with Hamas and its supporters around the world. We got the preview in 2001, in August, September 2001, days before 9/11. We got the preview of what they were planning. And, there's a group called NGO Monitor, which for many years referred to a Durban strategy by the non-governmental organizations. And I wasn't sure if it was really a strategy, but it seems like it was. They adopted this declaration in August, September 2001. And now we see that sadly groups like Amnesty International, which were once very important groups focused on political prisoners, is now one of the leading anti-Israel groups, disseminating around the world in huge posters the blood libel that Israel is committing genocide, which is a terrible lie, which is used to justify attacks against Jews around the world. Amnesty International is a big part of that. So you're quite right. The Durban conference was one of the premonitions for what we're seeing today. I was happy to see in 2009, when we had the second round of the Durban conference was held in Geneva. It was called Durban 2, or the Durban Review Conference. And the first country to pull out was Canada, but then very quickly, Italy was the first European country to pull out. This was under Berlusconi and Franco Frattini. And then eventually 10 countries pulled out, including Germany and Australia, Czech Republic, Poland, other countries. So we've been seeing these things at the UN. As you mentioned, many countries are anti-Western, and it's harder to go against America because they're so powerful, but the easy target is Israel. It's a small country. It doesn't belong to the Islamic group. It doesn't belong necessarily to the European group. It's kind of an easy scapegoat.